Ever wonder why we always come up with excuses to not practice our singing? Or maybe to not perform in public when we really want to? And in this video, I'm going to reveal the reasons why we actually come up with excuses and why getting rid of them is one of the best decisions you can make for your singing and for your life. My name is Jorgelina, I'm a vocal coach and I specialize on teaching people how to sing music from a holistic and functional approach, which means natural and easy. Now, this topic is super important because excuses are the one thing that prevents you from reaching your singing goals and, for what's worth, any goal that you have. The problem with excuses is that you have the potential, but if you get stuck in this excuse-making habit, you're gonna die without knowing how great your voice could have been. By the way, if you haven't already, go to the description below and get my free resources that are going to help you expanding your vocal range without excuses. But let's continue. Singing is not just about having a great voice and impressing your friends, although it can be part of it, of course. Singing is a really healing activity. It allows you to unblock emotions that otherwise might have been locked forever in your body. And we all know how many troubles that brings to many aspects of our life. Singing also makes you better at communication. And also, communication plays a big role in all aspects of your life and can make your life much better. If learning to sing is something you want to do, I assure you that the benefits that learning to sing have greatly outweighs the benefits that making excuses can give you. The main thing that separates the great singers from the singers that maybe have a nice voice and maybe can hold a tune is the ability to work past through the excuses, and excuses will come. Here are a list of the most common excuses I hear very often to not practice singing or to not start singing. I am too old to sing. I was told I was tone deaf. I arrive home tired and I don't feel like it. I feel silly practicing voice exercises. I don't want my flatmates or my family to hear me when I practice. I don't have time, the most common one. I don't know how to practice. I went to the gym and my body hurts and so I can practice. I went to a party and my voice feels sore and I can't sing. For each one of those excuses, we have possible solutions that can help you work past through them. Excuses are gonna arrive all the time. You're always gonna have an excuse not to sing, and part of being creative is adapting to those situations and seeing how you can work through those difficulties to still get to your goal, to still not miss your practice. Adaptation is very important, especially when you are a singer, because when you go sing live, you have to adapt all the time to different climates, to different environments, to different rooms, to different people, to different noises. So adaptation is crucial for singing, and you need to work about it from the training, not just when you are already a star or when you are performing already. Even if you just want to be a shower singing, the singing habits, you change them from the beginning. But why do we make excuses? Well, there are good reasons for that, so don't feel bad about it. It's not your fault, but we have a logic brain and we can use it on our favor. Now, the reasons why we make excuses is one, because the brain loves to save calories. If you ask your brain to do something different and new and very challenging like singing, it's not gonna really want to do it, and excuses will come so you are home, relaxed, saving calories, and everything is the same. But of course, that is not very transformative, is it? You're gonna waste your life. So we have to negotiate with our brain. That's why we like to stick to old habits. Creating new habits, such as the habits that you need to become a good singer, requires quite a bit of effort from your brain. And new habits are processed in a part of your brain that is more slowly than the more automatic parts of your brain. That is also the reward that great singers have. You have to work on those habits so much that they go to the more automatic part of your brain. And that takes time and practice. New habits take time. And nowadays we are all about saving time. But if you want to be a good singer and you make excuses, you're gonna not save time. You're going to be wasting time anyway. So it's a much better idea to learn to use your time efficiently and do it anyway, and you're gonna have the results you want much faster. There are other reasons why making excuses is something we do naturally, and the last one I want to tell you about is that we don't really like to feel unpleasant emotions. Of course, who wants to be sad or embarrassed or any of that? We like to have good feelings. But think about it, when we experience an emotion that we don't like, we tend to block it and like resist it. and the emotion doesn't really leave us. It gets stuck and we end up having a lot of tensions, and sometimes they last for many, many years. And it's not because we have the emotion, it's because the emotion doesn't have motion. No, emotions are supposed to come to our body, teach us something, and leave. When we resist them, that doesn't happen. It is a good idea to learn to feel your emotions. Think about it. A lot of times we make decisions and we stop doing things we want and we put excuses about it. We justify it and excuses, but in reality we don't do it because we are scared of how we're gonna feel. So, for example, you might choose not to perform somewhere that you have been invited to because you are scared to feel embarrassed or you are scared to feel scared, ironically. So, the thing is that emotions are just emotions. They are not going to kill you, especially when you know that you're not going to be put in a dangerous situation. Learning to feel your emotions and to be able to just be with them and let them go is going to make you so much more resilient in life. You're going to be able to meet your goals much more easily. Imagine how many things you would be able to do if you were willing to feel. But the thing is, to learn to sing, you have to change your habits, and it's not going to be easy, and that is why not everybody is a good singer and why so few people that want to learn to sing actually end up doing it. Learning to sing doesn't require you to be touched by God and have an amazing voice from the moment you were born. Most singers that you think are so talented, they worked really, really hard in their craft for many years since they were kids. Now, the good news is that you don't have to be able to sing for 5 hours a day. For you, this might look like maybe setting aside 15 minutes a day to your singing practice. Is that the maximum that you can feel without getting exhausted? Then that is your starting point. How to get better at not making excuses? Well, there are solutions for that. And the good news is that this is going to help you not only in singing but also in your life. The first step is that you have to think about what motivates you to sing in the first place. And there are no judgments here. This is just for you. Be sincere and honest to yourself. You don't have to tell this to anyone, and there are no rights or wrong here. Maybe you want to learn to sing because you think it's gonna make you feel more loved, or maybe you want to learn to sing to make your family proud. I don't care what the reason is. The motivation that you have is the engine that is going to drive your singing. And the motivation can change. But the most important thing is that we are honest to ourselves and we find out why do we want to be a good singer in the first place. Tell me why ain't nothing but... What is that thing that motivates you to go from where you are now to the singer that you want to be? Maybe it's just that you are in love with music, or maybe it's the way you feel when you listen to certain singers. Whatever it is, the second step is to do some realistic planning when you are motivated. So don't lose that motivation when it appears. Once you find what motivates you to be a good singer, think about what is the first goal that you would like to achieve and make sure that it is a realistic goal. Because if excuses are something you struggle with, then having an unrealistic goal will make it even harder to stick to it. What is the most immediate goal that you would like to achieve with your singing? Having a time frame also helps you to stick to it, as long as that time frame is realistic. And don't get me wrong, I am all in for impossible goals because they are the ones that help you make the impossible possible. But while we are dealing with excuse-making habits, the goal is to be able to get rid of the excuses and to build discipline. And that is much more important than any other goal because it's the one that will drive you to them. Changing habits is challenging enough, and you need a context that gives you the most possibilities of succeeding. Thirdly, what is the minimum time that you can commit to every day realistically to practice your singing? And this is where a lot of people fail. A lot of people, when they are motivated, they plan to sing for 3 hours a day and then never happens. This is the time to be realistic and think about what is the minimum time that you can realistically commit to every day, even if it's raining, even if your partner is mad at you, even if a dog barked at you, even if you haven't eaten that day, even if you're tired, even if you didn't sleep, because those excuses are gonna come. And this might look like 5 minutes a day, and that is fine. You're gonna see that if you find a time that you can commit to, even if the world is collapsing, then you're gonna get used to it, and your body itself is going to start asking you for more. But start where you can commit to, because otherwise what I see over and over again is that people get frustrated and they just abandon the goal altogether. So at the end you were wasting your time anyway. Once you find the minimum time that you can commit to every day to your singing, make sure that you put that at the beginning of the day or as early as possible. That way, if something happens during the day and that prevented you from doing it, you can still find times later on the day to do your practice. Remember that while the goal is to create a new habit and become more disciplined, it's not really about how great you become as a singer, but about how much you can commit to your goal. So that's why even a short period of time will be much more helpful than a long period of time, which makes it way less likely for you to commit to. I promise you that if you get good at making a habit and committing to it no matter what, you are gonna be way better than you ever dreamed you could be. And the chances of succeeding with your singing goals are close to 100%. If you follow those steps, I promise you, you're gonna be much better at committing to your habits, and your habits are ultimately what drive you to your goal. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.